Greetings. This is Neil with Finding Your Best Love Ministries. First off, I want to just do a love frequency check. What do I mean by that? If you think about your relationship, where is it at? Where's your frequency? When you think about your relationship, whether it's your marriage, a serious relationship, what do you think about when you think about your relationship? Are you in ecstasy when you think about your relationship? Are you happy in your relationship? Are you content in your relationship? Are you fearful about your relationship, whether it's going to make it or not? Or are you in just complete misery in your relationship? Do an evaluation of your relationship and see what you come up with. All right. Further on, the topic of today for Keeping Your Best Love Ministry is, do I have a wall up? Woo! Deep water's coming, y'all. Deep water's coming. So, what's a wall? It's an emotional barrier that we put up. It's a defense mechanism to where you don't let people get but so close to you, and you're not going to really reach out but so far to other people. I mean, it comes to the extent to where some people are willing to give their body before they give them their heart. And you really can't express yourself. It's really hard for you to express yourself on an emotional level. So it's hard for you to say, I love you to your significant other or even your kids. It's hard to say how much they mean to you. You'll say things like, well, they know how I feel because how I treat them. I don't have to tell them anything, but it's something about hearing the words I love you, hearing words of affirmation that kind of solidifies your actions. Now, if you all words and no actions, then don't worry about it. But you need both. You need both. You definitely need both. So emotionally, it's very difficult for you to say that you're wrong about something, or admit that you made a mistake, or admit that you need to do better. These are all attributes of emotional barriers that we put up. And it's just a defense mechanism to make sure that you don't hurt me, because it takes a level of vulnerability to open up. Think about it. You go through the old song and dance when you first get with somebody. Okay, who's going to do the first kiss? Who's going to initiate the first kiss? So if you get close to giving the first kiss, are they going to meet you, or are they going to turn their head or give you a cheek or something like that? Then you go to, okay, who's going to initiate sex first? Are we going to have sex? Okay, there you go. That's all, everybody, if you start feeling an individual, that's the next one. And then the last one is, after you start feeling the person and the relationship is going well, who's going to say, I love you first? And you may very well feel like you love the person, but because of your emotional barrier that you have up, you're afraid to take the first step. Now, why would you be afraid to take the first step? Well, you don't know how they're going to take it. Are they going to say, I love you back? Are they going to laugh at you? Are they going to just pretend like you didn't even say it? Your fear, fear. And that's the wall. When I say you have a wall up, the wall is our fear bricks, pain bricks, regret bricks that make up that wall. So how do you know you have a wall up? A lot of times, physically, it's hard for you to express yourself physically, where you don't want to necessarily cuddle, or you don't want, and I'm talking about somebody you're in a committed relationship with. I ain't talking about somebody that you're being casual with, somebody that you're in a committed relationship with, or someone that you're married to. You don't want to cuddle. You don't want to be touchy feely. You don't want to hug or kiss in public and all this, that, and the other. And they say, well, I don't need that type of thing. Well, you kind of do. There's a study done in Germany where they had children from the Holocaust, babies, where one was given a whole lot of affection and the other one wasn't giving any affection or didn't even touch the baby. Same feeding, same living conditions, same bed, same room, same everything. Just one got love, one got physical touch, and the other one didn't get anything. Well, the one that didn't get any physical touch, any love, it got very, very sick and it perished. And of course, the other one that got all the love and affection actually got well. Well, it was never sick, but it was in a very, very, very good state of mind. So that's what we need. Think about it like this: how important touch is. Before this pandemic stuff started coming to effect, we'd always have to touch and agree. When you first meet someone, you shake their hand. If someone left you hanging when you first met them, when you went to shake their hand, and you assume that was a bad person. There's something about physical touch that we need as human beings. How else do you think you have a wall up? Spiritually, we can get to a point to where we feel like we don't deserve God's love or Allah's love or the spirit world's love or whatever your creator's love, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes we feel like we don't even deserve it. And we're carrying around a lot of guilt. We won't even allow God to love us the way we need to be loved. So it's so much. And so how did the walls come about? Sometimes it comes from maybe you were raped. Maybe you were abused as a child. Maybe it's a generational curse. So maybe your grandmother was abrasive and mean, and then her mother was abrasive and mean and nonchalant, and then you're the same way. You're abrasive and mean and nonchalant about everything, and you would think that would stop, but people just learn by example. So there's children that are like have grown up and never heard their parents actually say "I love you." Of course they show by giving them shelter and all and food and clothes and all this, that, and the other, but they just never really kind of felt that nourishment from their mother or that affirmation from their dad. So we need that. So the same thing we need from our parents, in actuality, we need that from our mate as well. Another way you could tell some people have walls up is a lot of these women that dress provocatively. Okay, so and a lot of those women that dress provocatively, and you know what I'm talking about, out in public, they're seeking for attention, and they confuse the attention for admiration. They think because everybody's looking at them or wanting their phone number or running behind them that they are actually validating them, but they're not. They're just getting attention. But they're not, so they confuse attention with validation or admiration. That's a wall. You got guys coming out, they got to flash their money. They got to flash their gold chains. They got to flash their car. They're real flashy, look at me type guys, but in actuality, on the inside, they're trying to fill a void. So they may use materialistic things as their wall. You ever see somebody just angry all the time? Just got an attitude the whole time. That's a wall up. So that's like, I don't even try it. Don't even try to get in my head. Don't even try to get my mental space. That's what that anger is all about. I mean, angry for no reason, just real snappy, got an attitude, all those things. You got on the other side of the coin where people are just giggly. And I wouldn't say happy, but because it's good to be happy, but like over the top happy, like laughing at everything, joking all the time, never have a serious moment, can't get serious, won't get serious. Well, that's another barrier as well. If I can keep you laughing, then you can't get to me, that what's really going on with me. So, and then, you got people, that they always blaming somebody else for their flaws. It's always somebody else's fault. Then they're not accountable for what they do. Somebody calls them out on them being angry all the time or not being affectionate or not being easy to deal with. They'll say something stupid like, well, that's just how I was raised, or that's just the way I am, and I'm not going to change. All those things are defense mechanisms. You're trying to talk to a person, and all they do is cut you off the whole time. And they're waiting for you to say your words. I mean, they barely listen to you. They want you to hurry and finish talking so they can start talking. Or they'll hurry and they're always thinking about what they're going to say next, not really listening to you. That's a defense mechanism as well, because they don't want you getting inside their head, asking them questions. So you can ask yourself different things. I mean, how do you know you have a wall up? Are you one of those type people? Have I let someone go or divorced someone that was really good to me, and I almost felt like I didn't deserve to be treated that well, and so I just acted out? Or are you that person that's always angry, always cussing and fussing and raising your voice over the simplest things? And do people say that you have a bad attitude, that you have a bad temper? All that stuff is defense mechanisms on that protect you from people knowing how you really are. That you're hurting on the inside. That you don't feel like you're good enough. That you do have low self-esteem. That you don't know how to handle your issues. So, with that being said, vulnerability is actually the beginning of healing. Admitting that you're wrong is actually the beginning of healing. So, why is it so hard? Why is it so bad to have a wall up? Hell, I don't want nobody to know who I am and what I'm going through, whatever. It's okay just to ignore the problem rather than deal with it. Well, this is why. It's unfair to the person that's trying to love you. It's impossible to please a person that is broken. You can give them all the toys, cars, sex, affection, all that, but it'll never be good enough for them. You'll never, ever, ever be able to be good enough for a broken person, because the problem is not you, it's them. Because here's the thing: if at some point they're going to have to give in. So if you're giving them so much love and so much affection and so many material things and everything that they love and enjoy, then they feel pressured to have to give back. Well, they can't. It's hard for them to give something that they don't have. What don't they have? They don't have the confidence to give. They don't have the vulnerability to give for one reason or another. And I always talked about that. And then if you do live your life with a wall up, you'll miss the full benefits of a relationship. The full benefits of a relationship. The benefits that God wanted us to have. The benefits that we were created to receive. The energy that can be built between two people that really love one another and that are really devoted to one another and really want to see each other succeed. Because the only way a relationship can work, a side note, is if you're in a great place, in ecstasy, or at least happiness, or minimum contentment, and they're the same way. And you share your ecstasy, happiness, and contentment with one another. But if one is in ecstasy, the other one's miserable, it's not going to work. No matter what type of face you put on, no matter what you buy them, no matter how much sex you give them, at the end of the day, the one is going to drain the other and the relationship will be sabotaged. And you really can't be true to yourself with the wall up. You really can't really and truly be true to yourself if you have this wall of pain and fear and guilt in your life. So you'll never be able within yourself to get the ecstasy. Now, emotions are different. I'm talking about states of frequency. what you're vibrating at. Emotions are temporary, but your state of being is permanent. So, all right, Neil, you got me. I got a wall up. What do I do about it? Well, first thing you need to do, you need to be honest with yourself. I got an issue. A lot of times when your loved ones call you out on it or ask you about what's going on, the first thing you say is, ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm fine. I'm good. What's wrong with you? Don't be talking about me. You. You know, when a person that is true to themselves, they do a self-evaluation before they lash out at other people. So if something is wrong in the relationship, the first thing that a person does that's grounded and rooted in themselves, they look at themselves first. Am I the problem? Let me sweep my own back. Let me sweep around my own back door. Let me take the plank out of my own eye before I try to get the speck out of someone else's. You're accountable to yourself first in controversy. Then once you got your act together, then you go to the other person and you set the example of how to act. You set the tone for the relationship. And then you can be in a position to correct someone or to guide someone when you got your act together first. So here's what a wall is. A wall is just not obvious. It's a subconscious problem. So you can't deal with a subconscious problem with conscious things. That's why you can't please a person that has a wall up. So someone that has a wall up may have, they might try to deal with their problems with alcohol or drugs or sex, or some of them maybe run to the Lord and be like, I'm married to God. I don't need no man. I don't need no woman. I don't need nobody but Jesus. I let Jesus hold me or God hold me, which is great, and that's fine. But however, God created us to be able to interact with one another, to be with one another, and to love one another. So why can't you just have both? Actually, it's better with both. Think about it. If you have a solid relationship with the blessing of God or the approval of God or living in God's will, that's a beautiful thing. So you have to deal with that wall on a subconscious level. So first thing you need to do, you need to identify where the wall's coming from. How do you do that, Neil? Well, guess what? You list the top 3 to 5 things that are bothering you the most. Go through your childhood, the events that really bother you the most of regret or hurt or, okay, I was molested or I was beat up or I was bullied as a child or my parents didn't properly affirm me or nourish me, and go through all those issues and deal with them. How do you deal with them? On a subconscious level, you meditate on those things. How do you meditate on those things? Well, what you do is in your meditative state, you're in oh my God, that's a whole can of worms. But I'm gonna go ahead and say you're in a theta state of mind where you're not necessarily asleep, but you're not fully awake. So when you're in a meditative state, all your other senses are shut down. So basically, all the other your senses are shut down. So all of your energy that's used for your other senses can be focused in on what you're meditating about. And your body will listen to you. Your consciousness will listen to you, and it will respond. And that's a whole other can of worms, y'all. But that's so in your meditative state, some of that pain may pop in and out and try to ruin your meditation. Well, you don't wake up and stop meditating and say, oh, I can't meditate because I got too many stuff going on. No, you relax and just watch them. Just look at them. Yeah, that's my problem here. I'm not going to allow it to control me. I don't hate it. I don't want it. I'm just going to observe it and just look at it and say, yeah, you're there, but I'm not going to let you control me. So just let it sit there. It'll go away. And then you go on back to meditating. I promise you it'll go away if you don't react to negative thoughts. Because negative thoughts is like fire. They need fuel. So if you don't give them fuel, then they'll go away. Resist the devil and he will flee. That type of thing. So that's what you do. And then you ask God, you ask the universe, you ask your creator, whoever you want to ask them. And you don't ask necessarily, but you tell them it's over. I'm no longer dealing with that situation anymore. It's no longer controlling me. Make sure I can say this right. Speak of things as though they were. Even though they're not, speak of things as though they were in your meditative state. And understand it's a process. I mean, think about it. You've been carrying this stuff for years. So it's going to be a process. So it's going to have to be a daily effort with yourself to deal with your issues. And then after that, you take steps. So to open yourself up to someone you love and you trust. Start saying, I love you. Start being more affectionate. Start telling them how you really feel. Now make sure you're with someone that's safe, but stretch out a little bit. Keep things in perspective. Change your paradigm. Be at peace with yourself. Keep things in perspective. Here's the perspective that you need to have. Okay, my dad died. My mother died. My child died. Well, they're gone. The perspective is there's nothing you can do to get them back. And more than likely, that person that you're grieving over wants you to move on anyway, to do better. So with that pain, turn it into a positive. Keep things in perspective. Okay, I was abused as a child, but I'm not being abused right now. Why am I letting it still bother me? Keep things in perspective. It's a choice to allow your past to dictate your future. That'll preach right there. Let me say that again. Let me put it in a different way. If you change your mind, you change your life. Simple as that. Okay, so I hope that was fruitful for you, something that you can use to make yourself a better person. And you can take your better person and add that to your relationship so you can keep your best love. Now, I'm on Facebook. I have a little business page. You can subscribe to that business page. It's called Keeping Your Best Love. I'm also on YouTube. I think that one's called Love Frequency. You can look at my videos there. And if you, by looking at this video, hit the subscribe button. When I start putting out more material now. Hit the like button. So that'll draw more attention and it will just get out more goodies. And then if you just want to email me personally, it's coaching relationships at yahoo.com. So thanks for listening and enjoy your life.